If you have started to feel some instability in your steering, whether it's from an older or worn steering system or you've added larger tires, this Mammoth Dual Steering Stabilizer Kit is a great solution for your 2005 through 2022 four-wheel drive F-250 Super Duty. Now, dual stabilizer kits for HD trucks are very popular, and it's for good reason considering they're used often for heavy-duty scenarios, and with that, along with lifts and meatier tires, it can cause some flightiness in your ride and some wobbling or even bump steer. Now, if any of those are something that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, this is a great way to eliminate those symptoms for a smoother ride day to day, and this is affordable compared to most options if you want stability at a cost-effective price point. Now, these two shocks here help to keep the steering system in check and more stable by putting pressure on the knuckle to keep the tire controlled. Now, it makes for a tighter steering experience or tighter steering feel, reducing deflection and vibration if you feel any feedback through your steering column, and it helps with bump steer or any type of wobbling. Now, each of these shocks are also nitrogen charged with a monotube build, which makes them much more durable compared to a standard twin tube hydraulic shock, which resists wear over time, being great for a heavy duty lifestyle and larger components, so you can enjoy the benefits of this kit over the long haul. Now, breaking the kit down, these shocks have a durable steel shock body with a black powder coat on top and a hardened chrome steel shaft, both durable enough to handle any kickup or hazards that are thrown their way, especially with the placement on the lower part of the axle. Now, the brackets here are also made of a tough steel. They're also covered in a black powder coat to maintain a rust-resistant build and solid support for the stabilizers. Now, the kit also comes with all of the necessary hardware needed for a relatively straightforward install that doesn't require any drilling or modification to do. Now, this is about $300 and is one of your most affordable choices for a dual steering stabilizer in the category. Now, one thing that makes this a more cost-effective choice compared to other options is a more entry-level or mid-style option. These are made of steel compared to other choices that may be made of an aluminum material, which is a little bit more costly. And then some other options may have more of a high performance or a racing application with external reservoirs or even some adjustable features. Now, while those are great choices for a high performance application, again, this is great for the everyday driver who wants to save some cash while still getting a reliable and well-built system. Now, install is a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking about 2 hours or so in order to install. Now, at this point, I'm gonna hand it over to one of our installers. They're gonna show you a detailed breakdown on how you can get this bolted up to your Super Duty at home. So that wraps it up for what I have to say. Let's go ahead and get to the install.
For this install, you will need an impact, a ratchet, 18 and 19 millimeter wrenches, a ball joint service tool, a 9/16 socket, 15 millimeter swivel socket, 14, 16, 18, and 19 millimeter sockets, and a small pry tool, and also not shown here is the jack and jack stands. What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing a steering stabilizer on our F-250, so let's get started. Alrighty, guys, so we've got the truck in the air, and the first thing we're going to do is remove our factory stabilizer. It's held on by a 15 millimeter bolt on this side, and then an 18 millimeter nut over here. So we'll take our 15 millimeter bolt out first with our 15 mil swivel socket on our impact. Pull that bolt out. Once we have that out, we can remove our 18 millimeter nut with our 18 mil socket. Alright, guys, so getting this out of your arm here is sometimes going to be quite difficult. These tend to get pretty seized into here over time. So what we've done is we've got our ball joint removal tool set up on this side to get it off. Now, to prevent this from flying off and hitting anyone, we're going to loosely reinstall our 15 millimeter bolt on the other side for now. Just going to get this in a few turns. Just enough to hold it in its position. Now, if you don't have one of these tools, they are readily available for rental from most auto parts stores. Quite easy to pick up. So ours, we're going to use a 16 millimeter socket and pop this out. There we go. Now that this is out, we can support our stabilizer. Move that bolt again, and we'll set this aside. Next, we're going to need to remove these two 9/16 bolts from our front diff cover. This is where our main bracket is going to mount to. Also going to be pulling this plate off. So we've got our 9/16 socket on a ratchet, and we'll pop these off. Alrighty guys, so now we're going to begin installing our bracketry for our new stabilizer setup. We're going to start with our main bracket, which goes right where we took those two bolts out, and it's going to wrap around our differential as well. So we're going to set this in place. You want this to go over top of your tie rod. We're going to line it up with those two bolt holes. We're going to install our two provided bolts. Now we're just going to run these in hand tight for now. It's going to hold that in place. Now we're going to take our large U-bolt and get it from the back of our differential. Send that through, line it up with our bracket. And we're going to install our provided flange nuts. Again, we're leaving everything hand tight for now. Just want to make room for adjustments if needed. Alrighty guys, so now we're going to install our outer tie rod mounting brackets for our stabilizers. So we got our bracket. You want the arch to face in towards the center of the vehicle and out like so. We're going to grab our first U-bolt and we'll get this on. We'll hold this in place. We'll get our supplied flange nuts loosely on. Now you want to run these up a good bit. Have to kind of hold that in place. We'll get our other U-bolt on. And we'll get our other flange nuts in place. And once again, we're just going to leave these hand tight. And once you got this side in, you can do the same thing for the other side. All right, so now we can install our stabilizer. We're going to mount it to our tie rod mount first. Now you want this larger tapered end to go into the mount like so. Then we're going to install our flat washer and lock washer, followed by your nut. This is a little bit tricky to do one-handed. Just take your time. Going to get it run in a little bit and help hold it in place. So now we're going to get our center mounting bolt and flat washer in place through the top. We'll get our stabilizer lined up. Get that on, followed by our bottom bracket. And we can get our flat washer and lock nut in place. Then we'll do the same thing for the other side. Now we're going to begin tightening everything down. We're going to start with our tie rod mounting brackets. Now you want to make sure these are nice and flat and level. And we're going to come in with our 14 mil socket and tighten these down. Once you have this side tight, you want to do the same thing for the other side. Now we're going to tighten down our center stabilizer mounting bolts with our 19 millimeter wrench and a 19 mil socket. Now we're going to tighten down our outer mounting points. So we're going to grab our 18 millimeter socket and 18 mil wrench. Hold the top. After we have that tight, we'll take our wrench and tighten down this top part and help hold it in place. And you want to do the same thing for the other side. Now we can tighten down our 14mm nuts on our U-bolt and our 14mm bolts for our main bracket with our 14mm socket. And we'll get our lower U-bolt. And we'll do the same thing for the upper two. Now once you have this fully assembled, you want to put your wheels on and put this on the ground and turn your steering wheel from lock to lock, making sure you do have full range of your steering wheel and nothing gets jammed or binds up. Alrighty folks, that about wraps up our review and install of our Mammoth dual steering stabilizer kit for your 05 to 22 4-wheel drive F-250 Super Duty. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything F-250, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.